What is going on, you guys? I am back again. I know it's been about a year since the last video. I have new content coming out. It's been a hectic year, and trying to get some videos out there has been a little bit on the back burner. But this time I'm starting off with a friend's build. As you'll see here, he has decided to upgrade and he is going all out. As you can see here with the layout of most of the parts here, he decided not to cheap out on anything other than the case, which we'll get to later on in this video. The problems we ran into with the case he decided to buy. He wanted the highest end parts, but he didn't want like a mini build, like a mini ITX build. He wanted a mid tower, but still, he still wanted it small. And you'll get to see it later in this video of the problems we ran into. And other things that ran, this tower was quite unique. But let's get started. Obviously with the CPU, he decided to go with the Ryzen 9, the 3900X, the 12-core, 24-thread monster. Obviously, just came out. He wanted to wait for the 3900 or 3950X, but decided to settle with this. Obviously, it's not a slouch by any means. He paired it up with the Aorus X570 Ultra board, and gosh, this thing has everything you want with it. I don't have any experience with Pcie 4.0 yet. Obviously, it just came out, so we'll see how well that goes. Powering the thing is a 1300 watt G2 from EVGA. Here's just another photo of the power supply and the video card he decided to go with. He decided to go with Gigabyte for the most part for a lot of the parts here. He went with the GTX 2080 Ti. This one's the AIO GTX 2080 Ti. It comes with a 240 radiator. It's actually an awesome all-in-one cooler. And you'll see it actually fits pretty well in this case. It was really tight. But we'll get more into that when we get into the build. I didn't get any pictures of the RAM, but they are the Trident Zs. I believe they're the 3600 speeds. Might be faster. I'll have to double check on that. But as you can see here, this is the case we decided to go with. It's the Dark Flash BF1. It's a mid-tower case. It's kind of weird. It's 200 millimeter front fans. We decided to remove those because obviously we wanted to mount the 240 radiators for both the NZXT Kraken all-in-one cooler, plus with the Gigabyte cooler has also had a 240 radiator on the front as well. So as you can tell, here's the problem we ran into with the case. They said the bottom cage for the hard drives is removable, but I wish I took a better picture of it. But it was not removable. They actually had rivets in it, so it's not like it didn't have thumb screws like people were saying it did. I don't know if it was just the model or literally the case he got, but it was riveted in there. You couldn't take out the drive cage, so the power supply was literally too big to fit in this case. On top of that, it was kind of weird, as you'll see in this quick clip. The PCIe expansion slots, they were punch outs. They weren't, they had the thumb screws in them, but they were actually punch outs. You had to punch these out. So it's not like you can fill in the empty slots with these PCI Express grills. They literally pop out. They're like, box-styled punch-outs. You couldn't reuse them. You had to peel them off. And unfortunately, in this case, we didn't realize that until after we mounted the motherboard. And it was such a pain to pull those out. And we ended up having to replace the case anyway. So as you can tell, we did replace the case. Here's a quick, just a video, or not a video, picture of what it looked like next to my big Thermaltake WP100, just to kind of show you guys the size of this case compared to my tower. It is very small. It's no bigger than like a 27-inch monitor. It's quite small. The new case we decided to go with was an Andiees AI Crystal Cube. It's a dual chamber tempered glass. As you can see here in the pictures, it's all RGB. Everything's RGB nowadays. Which, by the way, I used to like dog on RGB just because it's the new craze. But actually, after we built it, I actually kind of liked the way RGB looks. So, we decided to switch out the case for the cube-styled case. Luckily, everything fit this time. It was a very close fit. Even though it's a cube-style case, the actual length of the case is quite short. So, as you can tell here, the 2080 Ti barely fit in there. It's literally touching the fan, but not putting any pressure on it. So it's not like the fan's gonna run into any problems when it's running. Here's, obviously we've gotten to the build. I didn't have too many videos. I'll just kind of do a quick montage here at the end of the actual build. But this is what the case looks like, completely put together, powered on. It was actually quite a fun build. In this case, other than the case we had to replace, it was really fun to build. And RGB is actually quite nice because you can actually change the colors to the color you want it to be. So you're not stuck with one color. Like in my case, I bought a bunch of red LED fans. I can't change the color of my theme without having to replace every single fan, which unfortunately I'm kind of wanting to do, but getting 28 fans into a build is quite expensive. I hope you like this video. Maybe we'll do some benchmarks, but obviously you guys can literally search up 3900X, 2080 Ti, and 100 videos will pop up. This video is literally just a build log and kind of showing the parts my buddy put in and a quick montage. Hope you guys liked the video.